Hey everybody, this is Ed Baniak with Wally Bites. I'm here with Trevor, the co-founder of Wally Bites, and we're so excited to kick off 2023 with another Lake Leaders interview. Today we have a special guest. His name is Travis Rivera. He is the owner and CEO of Black and Brass Coffee. So Travis, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor.
Well, we appreciate that. For those folks that aren't familiar, we try to speak with community members, business owners that have influence in our area around Lake Wallenpaupack. So certainly everybody needs a little bit of coffee to get their day started. And we're going to talk to Travis about Black and Brass Coffee. So Travis, our first question to you is talk to us a little bit about like the origins of Black and Brass Coffee. Like, how did this come about, and why the area? You and I were talking previously, and Trevor, we were talking about the original brick and mortar in Honesdale. So why and how? Give us that background if you don't mind.
Yeah. Well, the why is, I thought that the town was really cool. I wanted to create a space. I really wanted to create a lot of spaces where people could gather. And at the time, I was, and I've always loved coffee. let's not confuse that. At the time, I was working as a carpenter, and I wanted to try something else, and I wanted to socialize more, and I really was starving for a sense of community. And often when you feel like something is lacking, and you wait for someone else to create it, that's a sign, right? And so I was fortunate enough to have the energy and the tenacity to create this thing. And it just grew and grew and grew, and pretty soon I quit carpentry and came to work full time and started growing the team and expanding into other businesses, and the rest is history. I mean, that's the short version. But I will say this, because somebody asked me recently. They said, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people get ahead. And I said, well, I'll tell you, because I've done it. and it's no secret. It's no magic formula. It just takes a lot of really, really hard work for a long time, every day. It's like you've got your day job, and your day job, it's not going to build your empire or build your business. Your day job pays the bills. Your day job pays the mortgage, or puts the food on the table, or your rent, or whatever, your utilities. But it's those hours afterwards that you've got to squeeze every moment out of to get ahead, to build that. And that's essentially what I did. I was working as a carpenter during the day to make ends meet. And then it was those evening hours, those weekend hours, where I started doing the research and doing the extra this or that to try and make it happen. And we spend a lot of you asked me one question. I'm going to keep going.
Keep going. No, this is great. It's a mentality of a small business owner. I mean, what it takes. I think it's great.
Yeah. So I mean, so many people, especially in their 20s, and even then they're in their 30s, you feel a little bit aimless. What you don't realize is you're building a skill set. Every little thing you're doing, you're building a skill set for your future, empire or baby or business or whatever it is. So I leveraged every skill set I had to build this thing. I used my skills as a carpenter. I used my skills as a public speaker. I used my skills, I wasn't so tech savvy, so I needed to find other people to fill those gaps. But But as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, and this includes playing video games, playing Dungeons and Dragons or Legos. I mean, whatever it is that you're doing, you're building a certain skill set that you may be able to use to help yourself, your future self, improve and improve your life in that capacity.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's how I started.
Yeah.
And it sounds like now it's grown into a business that has multiple locations. So could you give us a little bit of background of maybe what was the first location, and then how did the expansion happen into those other brick and mortar buildings?
Yeah, so it was the first location was in Honesdale, and we're talking like 900 square feet, and we roasted and had a specialty cafe out of. So we were roasting out of 100 square feet essentially. I mean, it was tight, but it was great because the customers could see it, and we it was a space where no matter who you were, you had a conversation with everyone in the room, and that was the magic of it. That was the community of this space. It was really what I had set out to create. And I'll say I haven't quite done it better since. That original spot had something really special to it. But we began. I actually initiated, I think, like 6 other locations, and we ended up building, I think, four of them, 5 of them. At one point last year, we had 5 open.
Oh wow!
All at the same time. 2 of them were in transition, but in the moments in between, we just kept them open. Yeah. And it was really amazing because we were able to provide a lot of jobs, and of course we were creating this incredible amount of beans in our own retail spaces, and then learning how to do it and do it consistently. And these are the steps that it took to get to the point now where we're able to franchise, because we were basically practicing building black and brasses over the last 2 years.
And Travis, were all 5 of those stores around the Lake Wallenpaupack area?
All 5 of them were in Wayne County.
Okay.
So it was another interesting thing because, Wayne County isn't the largest population. It's a small town. This is the northeast. For those of you who don't know, it's the northeastern part of Pennsylvania. We had 5 of them. So we were basically the Starbucks of, I guess, Wayne County. I shouldn't say the S word, but yeah. So it was a large footprint in, I guess, a relatively small area, but wow, I mean, what an area. I mean, we love the community, and every single place we opened, people were excited, and just it's really heartwarming to have that kind of a following, even down the street in some cases.
So 5 in operation over the now 3. So and where exactly? So we know that the original in Honesdale still exists, and
actually we shut that original one down.
Oh, you did shut that down?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are the 3 at? Let's hear it.
Yeah, so we do have one in Honesdale. It's right in front of a waterfall, so it's kind of so great coffee deserves great water, right? So you can go out there, you can have a great cup of coffee in front of this waterfall in Honesdale. So that's right down the street from our original. The next one is in Hawley, which you're familiar with, and then of course the final one is in the Hamlin Highway stretch. So in between, basically Hamlin, but in between, like on that 590 stretch. So that was, and each one is a different culture. Even though they're all very close together, it's a different customer, different culture, different community.
Yeah, I think people come into the lake community, if they're coming in or going out, I think they take different routes. So I think strategically the locations make a lot of sense. And then you have the local following. If I'm not mistaken, the one that's on your way to Hamlin it's past like Drafts, the bar on the left-hand side, correct?
Yeah.
And then where in Hawley, where is that location exactly? Because I'm familiar with Hawley, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've visually seen the location there yet.
So it's right inside the Hawley hub. So that is 318 Main Avenue. So it's right on Main Ave.
Okay.
And if you're familiar with the Hawley Hub, it's got a dance studio, it's got an event space that people have done weddings, and there's farmers markets, and there's a couple of Airbnbs. So it's really this awesome building, kind of towards the end of Main Avenue in Hawley.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that if I'm going towards Honesdale, is that on the left-hand side before
on the left.
the Lackawaxen right there?
Yeah, if you're going towards Honesdale, it's on the left.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be
I know where it is. It's past the ridge.
just past the ridge, same block.
Yep, just past the ridge,
Yeah.
and I guess
Right next to the Chinese place.
and there used to be a diner there that I don't think exists anymore. And then across from Trevor, what's that?
In
The
between the diner and the ridge.
Yes.
In between
Okay.
the diner and the ridge.
Yeah, that's a nice area. Well, that's good to know. I'm gonna have to physically get in there. Trev, before you ask your next question, I had just one simple question.
Yeah.
We've been talking about coffee. What else, Travis, can people expect to try when they come into your locations?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a specialty espresso bar, so all things espresso, coffee, lattes, and such. And then the beans themselves, which are fresh roasted, so you can take the beans home. The other products we offer: pastries, light nosh, and then we have a line of tea, and we try and incorporate products that are similar to coffee. Like a coffee soap. We joke that we bathe in coffee. We literally bathe in it. But coffee is a great exfoliant. So yeah, I mean, so anything coffee related, I'm a big fan of art and culture and music. I would love to have other products. Ultimately, I'd love to be kind of I would love some form of Black and Brass to be your one-stop coffee shop. So everything that you could imagine needing as relates to coffee,
Okay.
we really should have. So we have we currently sell grinders and small brewers and stuff like that. So we want to be able to provide a quality coffee experience for the home consumer.
Yeah.
And kind of like educate. But the purposes of the space, I mean, the real purpose of the space is for the community. Because you can get our coffee online, you can get our coffee through other wholesale clients and retailers. The reason we have the spaces is for those communities, so that people can get together, and it's in a place that's not necessarily a bar or a restaurant, and you can go there. The price of admission is low. It's a cup of coffee. And actually just be a part of a community. Talk about art, talk about politics in a non-combative way. I mean, these are the kinds of things that we saw happening.
So Travis, let's talk a little bit about that. All of the brick and mortar buildings are in Wayne County.
Yeah.
Why that area? Is there any sort of connection between yourself and that area?
Well, this is it's where I came out and ultimately helped build my family a home when I first moved out here. So I had a sentimental connection to it, and I had visited it back years before I even moved out here. So yeah, I love it. That's why I love it. It's a good area. It's full of good people, and I thought it had a need, and that's our job, is when we see that a community needs something, it's our responsibility to create it to the best of our ability in whatever capacity that means.
And how many years have you been local to this area?
I want to say close to 20.
Oh, wow.
Now. Yeah. So at this point, half of my life was in California, mostly LA, and the other half was out here in Pennsylvania. So I've kind of lived on both walks of that side. Yeah.
Very different places.
And I'm more East Coast now. I don't. It's like every time I go out, go back, I'm less and less. a Californian.
Yeah. So one, I think you know, great answers, transparent. Couple things again about like the locations. And you mentioned kind of creating a sense of community and an inviting environment for people to come in and you know, say hi to folks, sit down. Do you offer like Wi-Fi for people? Is that something that you're against? I mean, what are some of the advantages of a person coming into one of your locations? And like, what are some of the things that, um, you know, differentiates Black and Brass versus some of the other, maybe larger coffee retail locations?
Yeah, I think the first is, of course, the product itself. You know, the coffee. I mean,
Right.
it's roasted fresh, and it's an incredibly. I mean, we put so much detail and attention into how we source it. We source the best of the best. We've we're planning on sending two of our team members to Costa Rica
Oh, wow.
this year to actually see where our Costa Rican farm is grown. So we've gone to 4 farms in the past. Currently, um, our coffee is arguably the most sustainably processed on the planet. Some of the most sustainably processed coffee on the planet. So, number one is the coffee, where we source it, where we get it, and how we roast it. So, if you go into one of our cafes today, pretty much everything on the shelf was roasted within the last few. I mean, really, the last few days. It's that fresh, and so
Yeah.
what you can get is, you know, where and when and who roasted your coffee. Essentially, I mean, you're coming to a coffee roasting company, and so you're getting the gamut of everything from Costa Rica to Ethiopia, and our own personal blends and our own personal touches. We have just a complete unique coffee experience. On top of that, you've got a trained barista who's creating these drinks on site. And so you've got all the magic of the espresso machine and the artist who's creating these drinks and that kind of camaraderie. So, and then again, you know, the biggest, aside from the product itself, which is an anchor, really, it's the heart is the people who walk through those doors and the conversations that they have with each other.
Yeah.
You know, there's a heartbeat, and when you open up a shop in a main avenue or a main street, you're a part of that community. You have a responsibility to the other business owners as well. Every single customer that comes to town is a boon for every other entrepreneur on that street. I think we don't talk enough about the fact that we're teammates, that we're working towards the same, or we're not grateful enough to each other for creating a new marketing buzz or doing the work to get the customers over. So creating that heartbeat, creating that community, creating that culture, it for me, that's why you have a brick and mortar. That's why you open your doors and welcome people in. You welcome people in with a smile. Otherwise, just have a website.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. I love it. No, this is great. And I mean, you know, I'm fascinated. I myself, I have to get myself into one of your cafes for sure. At the risk of embarrassing myself, I am not a hot coffee espresso
Yeah.
latte drinker. So, do you have anything that I might like as an iced coffee drinker?
Yeah. Well, of course, our cold brew. I mean, our cold brew is, if it's smooth, it's sweet, it's we sell it in cans, so you can take it home with you, and growlers that you can bring back and refill,
Sweet.
or an iced latte. You know, any kind of an iced latte is refreshing.
Yeah.
And any kind of flavor, depending on, and we sell the flavors all year long, so you can get your pumpkin spice even if it's not November. But like, yeah, coconut iced latte in the summertime or something like that. But there's this other drink that we have. It's not popular, but I love it, and
Okay.
it's called the Brass Dragon.
The
Okay.
Brass Dragon. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And so what it is it's citrus infused cold brew.
I'm having that. That
So,
sounds right up my alley.
so it's cold brew, it's orange juice, and it's got like a spritz of raspberry. Super refreshing.
Yeah.
But that's my go-to cold drink.
The
Yeah, we got to get in there and try
brass.
that out, Ed.
Yeah, that sounds right up
When
our
we're up
alley.
there ice fishing in a couple weeks, we got to get up there and try that out.
So again, we live in an era of like reward programs. I do have another question. Like, do you have like a frequent flyer program or?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've got a coffee club card where you get your 10th one free. We keep getting requests for a latte one, and it's on me. We'll get a latte one. So there's that.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's in the works. I just need to click. I need to click a couple buttons. It's like months later. People,
Yeah.
where's that latte card? Yeah, other than that, it's kind of like every now and then we try and throw a little something extra into the we try and surprise people. We try and throw little guessing games, or sometimes somebody will walk in and say, "Oh, you're the 100th customer of the day. Here you go."
That's cool.
Stuff like that to try and have some fun. I did one thing today, and it's just not hooking, but I think it's so cool. So I'm filming in real time the roaster, and I asked the question, who's coming in to get some coffee, and what do you want? Because I was gonna roast it in real time, put it in the bag, write that person's name on the bag, and get it over to that shelf.
Yeah,
So they,
cool.
right? So it's just kind of this interactive thing.
Sure.
Nothing, crickets. Nothing, not one response. We've got like 11,000 followers. Nobody
It's tough.
Travis, how long does the roasting process typically take?
It's about 15 minutes. It's fast. So we've got a small roaster. So we're doing 25 pounds a clip, and 25 pounds, 15 minutes, and then it's another 10-15 minute cool down. So that machine, we've got two of them, and so they're able to pump out about 5 roasts every 2 hours approximately. So 25 pounds per roast. So
Travis, what does a customer typically consume? Like, if they come in to get, you mentioned that you can buy coffee through your website, or they can come into the cafe and buy fresh coffee and leave with it. Is it like a 1 pound, 2 pound, 5 pound, 10 pound? Like, what's the average customer walking in and saying, "Hey, I love this. I want to take this home with me"?
Yeah, well, it's the 12. We sell 12-ounce bags.
Okay.
So and then 5-pound bags, and that was people walk out with the 5-pound bags. If you buy 5 pounds, you get half a pound free included. So it pays to get it in bulk. But yeah, typically the 12-ounce bags, and some locations do better than others. I mean, some locations are more drinks. One location was more pastries. It's interesting. And one location is more bags. So, typically they're coming in maybe for a latte, maybe for a cup of coffee, and they're walking out with that bag, and they're taking it home with them.
Yeah.
And that bag of coffee, again, I mean, it's light to dark, Sumatra, Costa Rica, Colombia, all over the world. So that's what they're walking out with.
So more volume of people coming into the cafes in the morning, or are you seeing it in the afternoon? And can you share a little bit with us about like the hours of operation for the business?
Yeah, 7 to 6 almost every day. We dialed way back in the winter this year. Really for the first year. Prior years we were open all winter long. So those are and as far as customers, morning, but it's waves. It's every hour, and then sometimes there's clusters, but it's really not. It's not like, oh, everybody's getting their coffee in the morning and then they're going to work. It's like no, every kind of person is coming in. including people who are working and they're coming in with their business meeting and in their suits and everything else. So.
Well, I love this. I've learned a lot. I think whether people are getting ready to go fishing, or they're just ready to wind down in the afternoon, I think certainly Black and Brass Coffee, the cafes are an opportunity for people to come in, meet a barista, find a new coffee they love, and support a local business in the area. Travis, is there anything, I mean, I feel like we have a pretty diverse audience. Is there anything that you'd like to share with our audience that we didn't maybe cover, or anything that you think we missed?
Well, I just implore everyone to give our coffee a try if they haven't tried it. You can order it at blackandbrasscoffee.com, or come into one of our cafes. And for anyone that wants to run and operate their own cafe and their own Black and Brass, they should reach out to us because we are going to be franchising very soon.
This has been great. Travis, thank you
Cool.
so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hopefully this was a positive experience for you, and will help get the brand out there into our ecosystem. And
Yeah.
Hey, maybe somebody will be out there and they'll find a new favorite. I'm coming in.
Let's go, baby.
I want to try the Brass Dragon.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to coming in. I'm getting thirsty right now for some
Give me a shout if you guys come in, and I'll send you home with a bag of coffee.